Hey there guys, what's going on? It's Gale right here back on the 5-9 channel, and we are here to talk about the launches of, well, in particular the launch of MHA, the strongest hero, but we will also be talking a bit about Ultra Impact and, kind of relating the two launches in general, but more in particular strongest heroes launch and how terrible it has been so far. With me today, of course, we had to bring on first and foremost Hydros. Say hello.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
And another man who's been promoting the hell out of the strongest hero and unfortunately hasn't lived up to his own expectations. ZVG, how are you doing, my G?
I'm doing good, except for the fact that I've been hyping this game up for the past 2 weeks, and the launch just, it's not a good look at all.
Yeah, so just to give a quick rundown on the issues that have been cropping up, people have been complaining about. Of course, first and foremost, we have to talk about NA's launch. Of course, the whole notion was on their Twitter. They even promoted it saying, NA is going to launch at the same time as EU. Oh, it's going to launch at the same time as EU. And it didn't end up launching at the same time as EU. It was pretty much a whole half a day, or not even half a day later, a bit more than that even, 15, 16 hours later instead. It was a lot of ruckus was happening in the community. Another weird thing to me personally was the stupid decision to even put the UK players alongside the US players, because the ping I'm personally getting in the game, and of course this game being a PvP co-op game, it's kind of important to have a low ping, but I'm getting like 100, 120 plus ping, and then when I jump into co-op, it jumps straight up to 200, 250 ping, which is ridiculous to me personally. So already some wonky decisions based on region and, choosing the regions between the games, and obviously it's terrible time difference and not knowing when to launch the game, which was really odd. But outside of that, a lot of server issues, people unable to link accounts, people unable to jump into servers, people unable to do PvP or co-op at some points, getting kicked out of the game randomly. And then obviously recently we did see a post on some YouTube comments and as well as on Twitter, is that people randomly got their accounts wiped. Now, Hydros, you mentioned a theory that it makes more sense. I don't think people are losing their accounts. What do you think, Hydros? What was your theory?
Well, the way the game is based is that you log in based on like the server location that I guess is closest to you. They have like 35 or so more servers at this point now that they've added.
At least 40
server,
now.
like,
at least 40 now.
Oh, they have 40. Okay. Well, they have like
Yeah.
40 like sub-server regions that you can choose from. Obviously, choosing the one that's best for you, like based on location, stuff like that. I think they recommend it or whatever based on like connection. People are logging into those probably with guest accounts, maybe not even thinking about it. And then, if the server ever becomes like full or has like a little red icon, like maybe it was green for you, now it's red because it's busy or like it has a lot of activity on it and such. People are like, oh, maybe my connection's bad now. Let me swap my server. And lo and behold, when you do that, your account does not go with you. Your account is locked to the server that you initially log into. And if you swap, you start all over again. There's no transferring. There's none of that. And my devil's advocate is they're probably not deleting accounts. They're not wiping accounts. People are just seeing that they're in like a bad server location just because of that red dot. And they're like, okay, let me swap to a better one. And they're doing that without even thinking and realizing that the account doesn't go with them. Or maybe the game is like just, hey, server's full. And then they're like, okay, let me choose a different one. They're like, okay, cool. I'm going to go and, play in a different one. And then they're like, oh, what the crap? My account's gone. And because a lot of people are used to the fact that your account is like on your device, not really on a server, so to speak. Like it's like like Dokkan. It's like you can log in and be like, okay, cool, I'm good. My account's not going to go anywhere. But with this game, it's like your account's, if you move, your account's gone.
Yeah,
if they do move back, your account will still be there. It's not like your account's gone forever. If you go back to the region you first logged into, you will have your account back. It's still there.
Yeah, it's obviously that is the case. I mean, I do believe that is indeed the case, because it's the same situation with games like Genshin and stuff like that. If you're in the America server, you have a separate account there, and if you go into some other server, it's there. The one thing I will say though, there should be a warning, because if you look at, like, I'm gonna give an example of Genshin because that's the only one that's coming to my mind with split servers, right? They specifically even tell you before you switch servers, like, your progress will not be carried over into the server. Do you really want to switch to this server? And then you click yes, and then of course that happens. Ninja Tribes is another example. If you switch servers, if I'm not mistaken, your account progress resets. If I'm not mistaken, so yeah, if you plan again, if you're having an issue of where your account has apparently gotten wiped or something, it's probably because you've switched servers, or it's automatically it puts you on a different server for some reason, whatever it may be. But yeah, in terms of just the rest of the problem, ZVG, what are your thoughts on it, and how do you feel about the issues that it's been having? And should a game of this scale and, well, this caliber, considering it's a big franchise and whatnot, should be having this sort of an issue?
No, it shouldn't have. Honestly, I feel like a game of this standard, like My Hero Academia, the strongest hero. I mean, Sony is the one publishing it or whatever, but I feel like a game of this magnitude should not have this bad of a launch. Honestly, like, it's just completely crazy. I mean, I was live streaming the game. They didn't send out the pre-registration rewards until like a day after, right?
Yep.
And they're doing it by several batches. So even if you join like server 40 now, you won't have the rewards yet, which is just completely, it's just stupid to me. And the server issues where, like, if you get logged out, you can't log back into the server that you were in. People have been trying for 4 hours, 6 hours trying to get back into their server to play the game, and they could not play the game. If you check the Discord for the game, everyone is complaining about it. What else? Some game functions aren't working. They weren't working, like co-op and collab or PvP. They just were not working at all whatsoever. Like, it was just completely broken, right? And what else? Also, guys, be careful when you top up in the game, because there's an issue where, like, if you top up, there's a chance that you won't actually get what you paid for, and you have to pay for it again. I've seen that happen to a lot of people. I've seen it happen to Tiger Uppercut Media, where he tried to buy the Ochako pack and he didn't get it the first time, and had to buy it a second time to actually get the pack. So yeah, there's a lot of issues, and the fact that the Twitter pages for the game aren't really communicating good enough to us is a big indication of the fact that I feel like it's not in the good, not in the right direction, right? Because if a game is launched this bad and you didn't say anything for a whole day, like, were you sleeping? What was going on? I have no idea, but it was just not a good look overall. And I feel like a game of this time for a franchise like My Hero Academia needs good games, right? Their games have not been good compared to like Dragon Ball Z or like Naruto. So them dropping the ball like this is just not a good look. But I feel like in the coming week or so, the game will play as normal as how it should be. But still, this launch is just completely bad. One of the worst I've never played a mobile game that's launched is this bad, dude. Like, it is just awful.
Yeah, I mean, especially we've been kind of spoiled with game launches personally. Of course, Nolar, two of us usually are well widespread, and we try out every different gacha here and there.
Yeah.
I personally haven't seen a launch this bad in a hot minute. I think the last time was obviously this Gaia's launch. Apparently, there were a lot of issues when that came out in terms of like certain things not working properly and stuff like that. And of course, one I remember was Sino Alice. Sorry, before the launch even happened, they decided to cancel the launch because the publishers themselves were hated by the community of obviously Nexon. So people were like, nope, we don't want to play it. So they decided to stop the launch, give it some more time, and just the developers themselves are publishing it right now. But the last one, I'd say, I mean, the last one that was this bad, I'd argue to say, was probably Bounty Rush, but that was just because they just pushed the game out too early. They had to wait another 8 months, and now it's fine, right? So I do believe MHA Strongest Hero, I do agree, it'll probably get back on its feet quite well. Soonish, I hope. But of course, it wasn't the only MHA game that launched yesterday, or day before yesterday, I should say. It was released alongside another one, Ultra Impact. Hydros has been playing it a lot, so have I. But Hydros, you've obviously tried out both MHA games. You've been kind of trying to advocate both to an extent. Obviously, you were more on the side of Ultra Impact. Your feelings and thoughts now with the launch of both. How do you feel about Ultra Impact, and compared to, obviously, outside of the whole VPN thing, how was its launch versus Strongest Hero?
Outside of the VPN, I mean, the VPN thing isn't really related to the launch. It's, if you don't live in Japan, you're not going to, you need a VPN, obviously. Some games actually do that nowadays just because of all different things. But either way, MHA Ultra Impact, the only thing that the launch didn't have was that the gem shop for buying currency was not open. But at the same time, it was only down for like a day. The game literally just released. It's not like the shop was down for like the week and stuff like that. It was just down for a day. The game actually released ahead of when it was supposed to release, because it was supposed to be released on like May 20th. It actually came out on the 19th instead. And then the services went live actually when the game was supposed to drop. So it makes sense that the shop wasn't active. I assume maybe they had like stuff that needed to be like verified with like Google services, Apple Store, stuff like that for then the shop to be active, right? So that's why it was set for the 20th initially. But then they said, hey, servers are live, go ahead and play, right? But it's not like there wasn't anything to do. I mean, just whales couldn't whale, obviously. But MHA's Ultra Impact's launch, it hasn't had any issues. Like there's no server issues, there's no lag. Even under a VPN, I have like no loading time in comparison to Dokkan. But you know, and already it's not even been out 2 days, and we're already getting news of a new event, new free-to-play units, a new Gacha banner. Technically, the banner live right now isn't like a festival like Gacha banner. It's like just like a starter banner that they put up. And then a new one. I assume this is like kind of like a festival type banner. I don't know if it is or not, but we're getting a new banner, 2 new units, new memories, new free-to-play units, new story event or just events in general. It's they're already handling it way better than TSH. TSH is just like, here, cool, have fun. And it's like, okay, cool, what do we do? Play a story, and then what else?
Yeah, I mean,
you
even
can't
the
play co-op,
staminas.
couldn't play PvP half the time. You're playing bots as well in PvP if you can't get a good partner connection with somebody. It's like, cool. All right.
I mean, I'd argue to say even the stamina system in TSH has been kind of donkey. I'm not gonna lie. Versus
it
Ultra
is.
Impact.
I feel
The
like they
stamina
gave
system
us
is
a
a
little bit
huge
like I
issue.
feel like they gave us stamina to start with, right? I think because I remember playing the other versions and in the beta, I felt like I had way less stamina in the beta and at least the other version starting out than I did in this in the NA launch. But
Yeah.
that may just because they were just generous. I think this was before pre-registration rewards too, which was not much of anything, just a multi and here's some other crap. But
Dude, they should have doubled that, honestly. Like, I'm still pissed that they didn't double that after honestly, like, for the launch, like, they should have doubled that. That just my opinion, but the one multi just not enough, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, the
it's-
pre-registration rewards weren't even live when the game went live.
Exactly. So it's like, at least double it, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, coming back to Ultra Impact's launch versus this, I will say I completely agree with Hydros. You know, there was no issues outside of like some niggling issues from my end. Personally, obviously, I'm not using a paid VPN. I'm using a free VPN, of course, to be expected, kind of. But yeah, I was surprised that the connection was pretty smooth. Download was completely fine. I don't think I had a single issue. Usually, when it comes to VPN and downloads, it can stop at some random time, but it didn't happen. Overall, just the launch was super buttery smooth for me personally in Ultra Impact. But yeah, there's a couple of niggling issues with TSH, I feel, but I think when it smooths out, it'll definitely be a lot better.
Yeah.
But I still do believe at its core, I have some issues with the game. It just feels like another big issue I personally have, and I don't think anybody else has personally addressed this on Twitter or anything.
Yeah.
Is I feel like it just drops too much into your face, right? Like, I know gacha games are meant to be predatory, quote unquote, right? You know, they're meant to take your money more often than not, but I just feel like they keep throwing like packs into your face.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, here's this, here's that. Like, if I want to go check out something, I'll immediately see, oh, you want to pay this and you'll get something else. And it's like, I don't, but I just wanted to level up my character. Why are you making me do this?
That's usually the case with like a lot of these
Yeah.
Korean developed games.
Yeah.
No knocking on these
Yeah.
games. It's just
Yeah.
like a lot of Korean and Asian developed games just have that problem. They
Yes.
shove a lot in your face. Not only that, they have like thousands of different currencies within the game. It's like you buy the premium currency, you convert it to tickets. It's like, just give me the currency. I don't want to convert it every time. It's stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, it's honestly. But
I
I have noticed
Good.
that Gail with the game where like you log in, the first thing you see, oh, a Choco for $1, and then you see, oh, a $14 deal, and I can see where the game is a lot of like predatory in that sense, and also the fact that when someone pulls a S tier character, you're gonna see it on your screen, so you're gonna be like, oh, this guy put the character, I want to pull him too, and whatever. So it's like, yeah, I do get that, but honestly, for me personally, the game at its core, I feel like it's pretty fun for my taste. PvE is pretty good. I like the combat in the game. PvP is a lot of fun. Like, I play Legends a lot, but I can tell you that this game's PvP is better than Legends to me personally. First of all, I'm not getting any laggy matches from what I've played so far. I've played like around 30 matches so far.
Yep.
No laggy matches. I mean, the game is skill based because once you get the base character, that's it. You don't need any upgrades, no nothing. Like once you have the character, that's just it. Like all characters are even stats, all that stuff. So it's just their kit that's really, determines who's the best and whatever. But I like the game so far. But I can see where, people would like Ultra Impact better because it's more casual. While this is like an action MMORPG game type stuff. So yeah. But yeah, hopefully they fix up everything like a week from now, and then the game can just go smooth sailing from there with events and banners and all that good stuff. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully they don't drop the ball even harder, and hopefully they get better over time. But we'll see what happens.
I will say I like that the PvP is balanced that way, and it's not based off of like your equipment and all this stuff that you pour into these units, and it's like even for everybody. Unlike Legends, obviously. But it's just an even playing field. A lot of gachas don't do that, and that's something that I will give TSH for doing right, is doing it to where PvP is balanced. It's even ranked PvP. It's balanced and fair, right? So, and it's just come down to how you use the units and your skill, basically. And for people that's also comparing Ultra Impact to TSH, these games aren't even remotely the same type of game, so they're not really It's like trying to compare Dokkan to Legends. It's the same IP, but it's literally not comparable to each other.
Yep.
So, don't try to do that. It's way different play styles. It's obviously based on preference, which one you like better. We're not saying that this one's obviously better than the other. Obviously,
no, definitely not. Yep.
It's obviously on preference. What you like at the end of the day is what you're gonna play, right? So. Just don't compare the two. We can compare their launches, but the games themselves just not comparable.
Yeah
definitely 100% agree with you on that one. But yeah, I think that's where we will wrap it up. I don't think there's any other points we needed to cover in terms of the launch or anything. I think we've covered a lot of what we like about the game, dislike about the game so far, and so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, obviously Hydros and I personally prefer Ultra Impact. ZVG is obviously more on the strongest hero side, which is completely fair. But yeah, let us know in the comment section down below, actually, if you've played both games, or if you've seen both games at least, which ones do you prefer? It'll be interesting to see, the difference between the groups of people that we have on the channel in terms of preference. But yeah, any final thoughts from you guys before we close off? ZVG or Hydros?
No, not really any final thoughts. Just that the launch for TSH is trash, and Ultra Impact's launch is just way better. I mean, that's just a fact. If you say anything else, then you're obviously trolling. But yeah, the launch is just not good, and we should not be okay with launches like this, guys. Do not be okay with this. These companies should do better when they're launching their game. If you're gonna launch a broken game, do not launch it, bro. Like, launch a great game with a little to no bugs, and then just it's gonna be smooth sailing from there. Do not accept what TSH has done. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep, can't agree with that. Hydros?
I knew the launch was going to be kind of rocky because the NA Twitter just did not want anyone to know the release date whenever anyone brought it up. EU was like, okay, cool, here's your release date, we're going to go live, right? I don't think the EU had much of a problem. Well, they might have similar problems, but I think it was mainly the NA version that had all this issue, right?
Yeah.
So it's like EU had a lot of stuff figured out because they also had a beta, which helped probably with server configuration a little bit better, but NA just on Twitter just handled it poorly. So I knew the release was going to be rocky from the start, but yeah, don't accept this kind of release. The devs need to do better.
No, I 100% agree with you guys on that. Of course, like, that's something that has been always the primary thing, right? Is like, these games are here. They're here because we're willing to spend money on them. So if they are not willing to, make it a good launch and give good support, and you stop supporting them. It's as simple as that. It's a mutual thing, right? It's a mutual relationship. So definitely agree with what Hydros and ZVG have said so far. And yeah, let us know again, comment section down below, what are your thoughts on everything that's been going on, preference between the games. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content on 5-9. We will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.
Peace out, guys.
Bye-bye.